Here we go.
Hey guys, and welcome to the Building a Dancer branding series. My name is Brendon Hansford and I'm a choreographer and director based in London. This is step 4 in the process and it's all about photos. I'm going to be telling you what type of photos you need, where to get the photos from and how to pick the best photographer. To give you a good analogy of how important photos are to a dancer, it's basically your toolkit. Same way a builder has a bunch of tools to do a job. If they didn't have those tools or they had poor quality tools, they wouldn't be able to do their job properly. As a dancer, if you don't have these photos in your toolkit, then you won't be able to get the job in the first place. And also, if you have bad photos, it could actually lose you work. So just a bit of advice, you're better off having no photos than having bad things that are going to lose you the jobs. To understand a little better how important the photos are, you've got to understand what the casting director has to go through. So they get a job from the client. The casting director puts it out on a popular casting site. Then the agents submit all their dancers for this job. The casting director then has the grueling job of going through potentially hundreds and hundreds, even thousands of people to pick someone right for the job that might only need 2 people. And the way that works is the casting website will put all the pictures like a tile system in front of the casting director, and they have an X and a tick, so keep or get rid of. So their first sweep, they're literally going to go through the first sweep and see who doesn't fit the brief or who has really poor quality images that they cannot send off to the client. So again, your image is the first thing they see to get you in the door. You might be an incredible dancer, but you need that incredible image just to get you past step 1. Okay, quick tip. If you do get a casting, make sure you show up to the casting looking like your image and on brand. Because if you show up to the casting looking completely different, when you've already sold yourself to the casting director with this image, 1, you'll get cut straight away because you no longer look like what they want. Secondly, it makes you look bad and the casting director might not call you in again. So make sure you show up looking how you did in the image. Okay, the lecture's now over. Let's talk about photos. I'm going to put it into 2 sections. So you have the social media section and your professional portfolio. The social media section, you need lots and lots of photos so you can continually post. And what you'll find out in a later video is you're going to need to start posting every day. So if you haven't got enough content in the day to post, these are going to be great archive photos that you can continually put out. On the portfolio side, to be honest, you only need about 8 select photos at the minimum. I would always recommend getting as many photos as you can, because the more photos and different looks you have, the more tools you can add to your belt, the more jobs you can apply to. So let's start with social media. This is really simple. You just need to create a collection of specific images. And when I say specific, I mean for dancers out there, it will be for the dance industry. For a builder, you'd have pictures of you working as a builder. So go out around your local area and get some cool photos. All you need is a phone, because all phones these days have amazing cameras and can take really great photos, which is more than enough for social media. A friend that can operate the phone for you, and a suitcase full of clothes. So change up your look as much as you can in a lot of different locations. And also remember to get close-ups, mid-shots, and also wide shots, so you've got a selection to put out on social media. Okay, to reinforce my point, your images need to be specific to your industry. So in this case, it's the dance industry. So make sure you get a massive collection of dance photos. If you do want to take your social media presence to a much higher level, maybe do some research into composition, how to take a good photo with wide shots, mid shots, close-ups. And this way you can just elevate what you do on your social media and it will attract more people to your channel. Okay, let's talk about your portfolio shoot. This is definitely an area you do not want to be cheap on. Save some money up and make sure you can invest in an amazing photographer to get some amazing shots, because those are the things that are going to get you jobs. I see so many photographers online offering massive discounts or free shoots. And for me, this is a small alarm bell, because if someone's offering a massive discount, that means they're not getting booked enough and maybe they're not as good a photographer as you need for your portfolio. And I don't know a single photographer out there who's worth their salt would ever work for free. So if a photographer is offering you a free shoot, for me, that's a massive alarm bell and there's probably an ulterior motive unless it's your best friend. So be really careful when selecting a photographer. My dad always said to me, when you buy cheap, you buy twice. And it applies to this situation as well. Yes, you can probably get about 5 more shoots for the same price of a really good photographer, and you might get 1 good shot from each shoot, but the chances are it's not a good shot, it's just the best shot out of a bad bunch. And if you send that off for work, it might lose you 20 jobs. Whereas if you invest in a good photographer, their images might gain you 20 jobs. So in the long run, invest in a professional because they're more likely to get you work. So invest in the best. Okay, so how do you pick a photographer? There are so many different photographers out there and they all offer something completely unique and amazing. So you do need to kind of go with your gut on which photographer you want to use. But there are a few rules you can stick to check if they're a good photographer or a bad photographer. One, and this is my biggest pet peeve, is focus in on the images they do and are the eyes in focus. Don't just look at the pictures on their website because that's going to only be their best work. Look at the stuff they put on social media constantly. And again, focus in, is everything in focus, namely the eyes. Check how they've edited it. Have they overly edited it? Is there too much contrast? Have they over sharpened it? Does it look quite fake? And lastly, look at the image of the model and then look at their real photo maybe on social media and check that the model looks just like the real person. Like I said earlier, you don't want to show up to a casting and not look like your image because the casting director will just cut you. So now you've done the research, you've picked your photographer and you've booked the shoot. The next thing to do is plan the shoot properly so you get from the shoot what you want. End of the day, all photographers are creative as well. They will want to go off and create loads of stuff with you, especially if you're a great model. So you need to know what you need from the shoot before the shoot so you stay on track. I hope that makes sense. So I've created a list of about 8 different images that you're going to need to get. I'm going to keep looking down because this is all written on my laptop. So first off, you need a plain looking headshot, which has got minimal makeup. You also need a headshot, which is a bit more glamorous, so a lot more makeup. I would highly recommend having a headshot at the beginning and the end of the shoot, because chances are with the makeup artist, you'll build on the makeup rather than taking it off and putting it on. Okay, third up, you need a very commercial look. So something funky, something cool. Something that makes you look cool. Following that, you need a dressed up look. So think evening wear, going to an event. Again, this doesn't always mean a dress. It just means something that is clear that you've made a lot of effort. Go for a fitness look. There are a lot of fitness castings going around at the moment, so it's worth having a decent fitness image to send off to these guys so they can see how you would look in fitness gear. A dance specific image, obvious one. If you're a dancer, you need a specific image to show what you can do. So think of the best pose you can do. Again, if you're a break dancer, get a nice cool freeze. If you're a technical dancer, get your leg up by your face to show how flexible you are. And obviously show you're a dancer. Some sort of exotic look. So the reason we say this is because we want to show that you're versatile. So if you can look a bit different, go down that road. And I don't want to suggest the look because everyone's different. And you have different skin colors, different hair, different outfits. So think of an exotic look you can go with to show that you're versatile. And lastly, you need some sort of image that's going to show off your body. Now, I'm very much against getting underwear shots or topless shots because I just don't think you're ever going to use them. If you do decide you want to do that, think who are you going to send it to and what is the message you're going to put out when you send that to them. Another thing to think about is later on we're going to brand your social media. So you might want to think about a nice landscape image for your banners, and obviously a profile picture will be one of your headshots, so that's completely up to you there. So a quick tip, most casting directors will always want to see a headshot, a 2/3 shot and a full body shot. So make sure in your selection of 8 you have that covered. Now having 8 images I would say is the beginning. I would say if you can get more photo shoots with incredible photographers, the same as the one you've already picked, then that would be definitely advisable because it will only add more tools to your tool belt. Thank you for watching and I hope you learned a lot. In stage 5 we're going to be talking about show reels, how to find a good cinematographer and also what show reels you need. So if you like these videos, remember to like, comment and subscribe. And to find out more about Building a Dancer the documentary, go to www.buildingadancer.com. Thank you very much.
Here we go.